promise this is the last time. This is my third time trying to go live, and I just wasn't prepared. I was acting like a fucking retard. So just bear with me here. Like I said, I was trying to make this video like 5 times over the past couple days, and I kept fucking up. I didn't want to offend anybody. I didn't want to, get people triggered about my Phenibut addiction. And then I kept thinking, like, man, why am I so freaked out when this could possibly help someone or someone could relate to this sentiment or whatever? So I figured I would just do it live and stop being such a fucking pussy. And yeah, so just little disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, clearly. I don't condone the use of Phenibut or Phenibut, however you want to pronounce it. And yeah, so just I'm just gonna share my story. And if you guys, I'll answer questions at the end. Um, yeah, fuck it. I'm so nervous right now, only because this is like one of my biggest secrets, and I haven't really told anybody about it except for Alicia. And I finally ended up telling my roommate Alec, or my best friend Alec, about it last night. And after I told him, it was like this weight was lifted off my chest that I was addicted to this shit, like heavily addicted. And so like I'm starting a taper, and I just told him, I was like, listen, man, so for the next like few months at least, I'm gonna be a piece of shit. I'm gonna be not myself, or maybe more of myself than you've ever seen before. So just bear with me. And that's helped a ton. But I'll get into like the backstory of how this came about. So about, God, I don't even know how long, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I tried Phenibut for the first time, and then it was while I was taking kratom. And when I took it, I remember being like, "Oh, I don't even feel it. This sucks. Like, I don't get what the hype is about." And yes, I'm gonna be a fucking douchebag and vape. It's just the only thing getting me through this anxiety of trying to share this video on on YouTube. I hope you guys can hear me. Can you just like let me know so I don't go the whole time and have to restart it? Like, can you just tell me if you can hear me so I don't look so dumb? I would really appreciate it. Okay. All right, cool. Thank you, Pete. So, yeah, a few years ago I tried it, and I remember taking it. Um, I know I look like a huge douchebag vaping, but yeah, I tried it and I was like, I don't really feel it. Like, I don't feel it at all. And so I took more. I ended up taking like a gram and a half, and it came with like this tiny scoop. I think I got it from Happy Hippo. And I remember all of a sudden it hitting me. And this is about the time I was trying to like quit kratom cold turkey like a fucking idiot. So I was like, it didn't even hit me. And all of a sudden I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna take my dose of kratom. I'll end up quitting kratom later. And I remember taking kratom, and then the Phenibut or Phenibut and kratom hit me at the same time, and it was like I was just in heaven. It was amazing. It was like the most blissful, pure happiness you can ever imagine. It was like it was relatable. I don't even want to relate it to any other drug because I don't want it to make it sound like that I'm making Phenibut look bad, because I know a lot of people get a lot of therapeutic benefits from it. I just know that for me, it was dangerously good. I'll put it like that, especially coming from someone who has an addictive personality. Sorry, I'm not looking at the screen. I'm just fucking nervous and I feel like an idiot. And yeah, and I know I'm dumb for letting it get this bad. Um, so just go easy on me. But yeah, so I took it and it was amazing. I hate to say it. It was fucking amazing. And so I ended up throwing it away. I was like, this is too good. This is dangerously good for the feeling that I get from it. And so I threw it away, and I didn't touch it for at least a year later, at least. and then I ended up taking it again. Maybe it was a year and a half later, and I got hooked. I got hooked because I read something on a forum where people were taking, like, 500 milligrams to a gram, every day, and they were fine. And that was kind of like their thing. They just took that for anxiety and depression, and almost like antidepressant medication. It's like they were taking it as like a medicine. That's just like a prescription antidepressant. So I was like, sweet, I'll just do that. Kind of like talking myself into thinking that that's like just a normal thing, and thinking that I could actually do that like an idiot. Um, so I started doing that, and of course, I remember my dose got up to like I don't know why I say dose. I ended up was taking like 7 grams a day, uh, and I was taking it in capsule form, and I started to notice things like, when I would come off it, and I just felt like shit. The physical withdrawals, the mental, like it was just fucking horrible. And after a while, I would have these bursts of just like complete ecstasy and felt amazing. And then I noticed when I wasn't on it, or like I would stop taking it. And keep in mind, I was taking it every day, so it wasn't like I was just it wasn't like I was just taking it and then I'd take a break for a week or two. It was like every day I was taking it. And when I got off of it, fuck, dude, I feel so dumb. Um, I decided to go, like, I did a fast taper, and I ended up getting off it in like a week. And I used Kratom, but it was weird. It's like when I got off it, and even when I was using Kratom, I didn't feel anything. Like I wasn't depressed, wasn't sad, I wasn't happy. I just felt I didn't feel. I felt nothing. Like no sex drive. I feel so dumb. No sex drive. I didn't feel happy. I could watch the saddest movie and just nothing. No connection to life, no connection to people. It was like the most disconnected I've ever felt in my entire life. And I was having nightmares. And it's weird, during the day, it's like I had anxiety. Or no, sorry, during the day, it's like I didn't feel anything. But then at night, I had like the worst, most vivid nightmares. But when I was on it, it was like it was like a dreamlike state. I don't know if you guys have seen Limitless, but Bradley Cooper, it's like when he first took the Limitless pill, I was living in this, what I thought, this gray world of just nothingness. It was kind of, I was just like living my life. And then all of a sudden, it's like everything was vivid and bright and shiny. And I felt music. I felt connection to people. I felt this. It was like an overwhelming feeling of just amazing. Sex was great. Music was amazing. Talking to people, like I could make friends and socialize with anybody I wanted. I was like the life of the party, and I was still functioning, and I was doing amazing at work, and life was like I was untouchable. That's how I felt, and it kept going, and I was like, "There's no drawback to this. Why isn't everybody taking this?" And keep in mind, like I said before, if you guys are just sort of watching, um, I'm not saying that Phenibut is bad. I'm saying it's bad for me. I know that people get a lot of therapeutic value out of Phenibut. I just, of course, abused the fuck out of it and was an idiot and was taking it every day. And so after that, like I did that quick taper and I stopped taking it. Um, I'm so dumb. And like I said, I just felt nothing, just nothing for months, like literally months. I just felt I was going through the day, work sucked. It was like I was just going through the day to get home and just sit in my room and do nothing. Like that's what I looked forward to, because being around people was so exhausting and so draining. And like having, like, say my boss was like, "Hey, can you bring, Susan to this activity. It's like she asked me to bench press 500 pounds over my head and hold it there for an hour. Like it's everything was just so shitty. That's like everything sucked. Royally sucked. Um yeah. So that lasted, I it's weird. I felt nothing, but then there was times when I got off it where it was like, okay, I'm starting to feel a little better. Like all of a sudden I get like literally I remember noticing like 5 seconds where I'd be like, "Oh my god, I feel normal again." And then it'd go away. And then pretty soon, I'd have another day where it was like, "Oh my god, I have 10 seconds of like feeling normal." And my body, my GABA receptors were starting to kind of like, get back into the swing of things. Because I don't know if you guys know anything about Phenibut. It affects your GABA B receptors. And uh, yeah, so they were just burnt the fuck out. So I started and it started to get back to baseline, and it probably took over like 6 months, honestly. And then for some reason, I finally got back to normal, and life was good, and I was off kratom, and everything was fine. And then for some reason, in my brain, I was like, man, remember those days when you'd have those like manic moments of just awesomeness, and life was good, and uh, like when I was on Phenibut. And then so I decided, I remember the day I drove to this like new nootropic store where all these fucking hipsters and people go for their like herbal supplements like a fucking cunt. And I went there and I got it and I took it and I was like, no big deal. And it's weird, my tolerance was still ridiculously high after all those months of not taking it. It was still so high. And yeah, so I started taking it again, and pretty soon I'm like, at one point I was up to 10 grams a day, 10 fucking grams of Phenibut, if you guys can even imagine that. Sorry, it sucks, but I keep having to hit this. I hate people that vape, and I look like the biggest fucking cuck beta boy right now, but whatever. I look like I should drive a Subaru wagon. Fuck. I'm retarded, you guys. I'm so dumb. Like, um, yeah. So I got back into it, and finally I was just like, I got to get off it again. And it's weird because when you take Phenibut and you quit, it's like, okay, you quit, and it sucks, but you'll get over it. And a lot of people don't go through withdrawals from Phenibut, which is fucking insane. I wish I was like that. But the more times you quit, I've heard it's harder and harder to quit every time. Um, so this time I took my own advice from my kratom video and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm just gonna taper really, really slow. And over like a month or 2 month period, like that's how I should have been doing it in the first place instead of making myself miserable, getting these brain zaps from doing a quick taper from Phenibut, and just, you know, not be an idiot. I'm making Phenibut look bad when people use it to for therapeutic reasons, and I don't know. I just don't I'm afraid of looking like an idiot, making Phenibut look bad because people sometimes need it to get through trauma or whatever, and I just abuse the fuck out of it because I like feeling good. It's probably the most honest way of putting it. So I'm tapering and I'm up to like 7.6 grams a day. And yeah. And I think what I'm going to do now, I'm going to, tomorrow, I'm going to make a video of how I'm tapering, how I'm quitting. And then every day, I'm going to do a little video journal, like a live feed telling people how I'm doing that day. And really the end goal is just to help someone. with this. Like that's why I do YouTube a lot of times. It feels good to work on something, but also just the feedback from people, knowing that I helped them or am helping them is fucking amazing, and I think it could benefit someone out there. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just gonna look like a fucking idiot on here, and everybody's gonna hate me, which is fine too. But I feel good knowing that this is out in the world, and yeah, I don't know. So I'm gonna just do a video every day, even when I feel like shit. And I have stuff like, well, I'll get into that tomorrow of how I'm quitting, but I have stuff to help. And I just know that I just need to not be a pussy and just get through this. And yeah, so I don't know what I'm doing, you guys. I just thought I would share this and finally let you guys know my secret that I've been hiding for a while. And I hope you can just appreciate my honesty and vulnerability and acting like a little bitch. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I just wanted to share that. And, um, yeah, I'll try and answer everybody's questions in the end or maybe in chat or the comment section. And hit, do people say this and hit like if you enjoyed the video? God, that sounds so fucking gay. I don't know. Add me on Snapchat if you want. I'll try and answer questions. It's just Menthol K, one word. Instagram Menthol Kratom. Not trying to plug my social media like a fucking cunt. But if you guys do have any questions, I would love to help someone out that's maybe going through it or wants to quit, or maybe that has any advice for me. And yeah, so I'll see you guys tomorrow in another live feed, I guess, on how I'm tapering and what's going on. I'm so afraid to look at the chat because I feel like it's just gonna be like, dude, you're a fucking idiot. Why would you ever start that shit? You're making Phenibut look bad. So I'm just kind of avoiding looking at my screen right now. Yeah, I'm wasting your guys' time. I will see you guys tomorrow. Fuck. All right.